Okay, today we are going to take a look at how to clear Scotch using the Bleed Team and any healer. This is not a speedrunning guide. This is a 240k maximum rewards guide. Now, to do this, let's take a look at our buffs first. I will mention that this is a very tight damage window. And because it's so tight, I need boss HP minus 30%. If your sinners are higher level, or if you are using better weekly buffs, you might be able to get away with enemy HP minus 20%. But with how tight this clear is, I really need the boss minus 30. And I would recommend boss minus 30 for if you're using this strategy. The second buff doesn't matter. Use a strong buff. If Jasmine's available, use that. If Trey's available, use that. If you have a good buff on the left side, use that. Like damage to core broken enemies is very strong. I'm going to grab crit damage just to show you guys that the second buff doesn't matter. The Bleed Team does not crit, and therefore crit damage is wasted. But I'm just going to show it just so that you guys know that this strategy works. Now, again, this strategy is very tricky. There's two parts that are actually going to be difficult to overcome. They both have to do with elites. The first elite comes out of this corner. There's going to be elite at the very start that comes out of this corner, comes along this path, and ultimately gets blocked by Levy. As soon as it gets blocked by Levy, as soon as we see the arrow above this elite, we need to cast Jasmine in this box. Okay, we need to be able to core break that elite, and the core break window is actually very small. If we miss that core break window, this elite is going to get blocked by Levy, and then jump from Levy to Jasmine, and we're not going to core break that elite. And if we don't have the energy from that elite, this whole strategy falls apart and it doesn't work. So we have to be ready to cast the Jasmine's ult on this elite, okay? So you're going to have to do that quickly. The second elite actually spawns down here. And it's going to happen shortly after Scotch decides to reveal his cores. Scotch will reveal his cores, and this elite will spawn. We are going to wait to break Scotch until after this elite shows up. Okay, that's all we have to do. We just have to wait for this elite to show up before we core break Scotch. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the run itself. I'm going to start off by moving Sumery to the correct place and giving 3 empowers to Jasmine. And at this point, I'm just waiting, and I'm only looking at this elite. This elite is the only thing that I care about. She's about to be blocked by Levy. I'm going to get my ultimate ready ahead of time. And as soon as I see an arrow appear above her head, I'm going to cast. There's the arrow I cast. I cast again. If you've made it to that part, congratulations, you've done the hardest part. Give 4 empowers to Jasmine, and Scotch is about to reveal his cores. In fact, there he's already revealed them. I'm going to go ahead and break with Sumery, and in this corner, I'm waiting for that second elite. There's a second elite that's going to spawn right here. I am waiting for it. There it is. Cast. I cast the ECB. I cast Levy. I drag Drea away to this corner here. And then I copy these bleeds, and I wait until I see this core over here to spread these bleeds. You can't cast this early. You have to wait until you see that elite's cores. I'm going to go ahead and spread all those bleeds. I'll copy them again, and I'm waiting for Drea ult. Drea ult's now available. I'm going to cast it right there and give Drea 3 empowers. I'm going to cast her again. Give 2 to Jasmine and 1 to Drea. I'm then going to take that and I'm going to spread those bleeds to the entire map. This last wave has spawned in, and now we are good and ready. We are just waiting for Scotch to reveal his cores a second time, and then we can finish the stage. So we break, we cast the ECB, we cast Levy. Drea is almost available. And there's the Drea ult. Give 3 empowers to Drea, and we ult again. And there you go. That is how you beat Scotch with 240k. Now, I know that happened really quickly, so let's go ahead and take a look at that stage a second time, okay? We know how the stage kind of operates now. We can sort of see the pieces in motion. Let's go ahead and look at it with our 2020 vision. Now, again, we care about this elite and this elite. Everything else sort of happens naturally. We don't have to think too hard. So let's go ahead and start. Move Sumery to the correct spot. give 3 empowers to Jasmine, and we wait for this elite. I'm only looking at this elite, nothing else on my screen matters. I'm literally not looking at anything else. Get my ult ready, and we'll know the elite's in range when an arrow appears above her head. So we are waiting for that arrow. There's the arrow, I cast, and I cast again. If you get to that part, congratulations, you've beat the hardest part. 4 empowers to Jasmine, and we're about to see Scotch's cores revealed. There they are. Go ahead and break those. And then I get my next Jasmine ultimate ready. I need a break as soon as I see this elite. There she blows. Jasmine, Jasmine, Jasmine ECB, Levy ult, move Drea to a safer place because these guns in the corner hurt. Copy those bleeds. I see this guy's 3 cores. That's my cue to spread the bleeds. Copy them again just for safe measure. And I'm waiting for Drea ult. Waiting for Drea ult. There it is. Cast it here in the center. Give 3 empowers. And cast a second time. 2 empowers to Jasmine. And we move Jasmine up front. This next wave has spawns. We go ahead and spread all of those bleeds. And give 1 empower to Drea. Now we're just waiting for the boss to reveal his cores. Just waiting, just waiting. There's his cores. We cast, we cast, we cast, we cast again, and we wait for Levy. There's Levy. There's Drea. 3 empowers to Drea. And we ult again. And that's how you clear this boss at 240k with the bleed team. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the Crimebrands. Because since this clear is so close, I'm hitting it like right on the 240k number, the Crimebrands do end up mattering. Now, if you have a second weekly buff, like if you're using like Jasmine buff, you have some leeway with Crimebrands. If your centers are higher level, notice how mine are all level 70. If your centers are higher level, you have some leeway with these Crimebrands. But I am running very specific Crimebrands. These are the best Crimebrands that you have available to you. Drea is going to be running Tempestus Void. If you do not have Tempestus Void, then you'll have to make Bell Tower or Embrace the Dead work instead. Again, Tempestus Void is the best damage, and it's going to be your best. It's going to have your best outcomes. Okay. Next up, we're going to be taking a look at Heartache on Jasmine. You need Heartache on Jasmine. It's a lot of damage. In fact, it's 20% damage, and it ends up mattering quite a big deal. If you don't have Heartache, there's not really a suitable replacement, and I hope your weekly buffs and or your center levels are stronger than mine so that you can make up the difference in damage. After that, we have Sumri. Sumri is running Inversion Slash. Inversion Slash just helps Sumri get her ultimate faster. And she does need to get her ultimate faster. Just having the ultimate ready and available for both core breaks is very important. Similarly, Levy is going to be running Fleeting Vision, and I think this is required as well. I tried running the stage a few times without Fleeting Vision, and I just couldn't get the energy for Levy's second ultimates during that second core break phase. And for me, I need Levy's ultimate during the second core break phase. I just don't have the damage without it. And last but not least, we're taking a look at Pepper. Pepper is running the full defense shred set. Soul Rift reduces defense, Eroded Sand reduces defense, and it just ends up being Summer's best supportive options. Now, there is one last detail that is mandatory for this strategy to work, okay? If you are trying to make this work and you're wondering, wow, why don't I have the energy? It's because you are not running Primordial Maul. For the strategy to work, you need Primordial Maul. You're getting 2 energy out of this, and the strategy pretty much demands that you do have that 2 energy. Your other 2 Crimebrands don't matter, and that's where I showed that here. But if you want to maximize your damage, you can use Afterglow. It's something that I haven't used in the last 2 clears that does increase your damage by a significant margin. I'm going to show you what Afterglow does in this clear, and show you guys just how much of a difference something small like Afterglow really does make. Okay? So knowing all of the Crimebrands, knowing the perfect setups, if you don't have those Crimebrands, you are going to need a better weekly buff, or you're going to need higher level centers. That's just how it works. But this is the bare minimum that you need to clear 240 on Scotch. Let's go ahead and take a look one more time. I move Sumri to the correct spot. I give 3 empowers to Jasmine, and I'm waiting for this elite. I'm not looking at anything else, just this one elite. Okay, it's getting really close to Levy. There's going to be an arrow that appears above her head. Notice how there's an arrow above this guy, an arrow above Scotch, an arrow above this guy. I'm waiting for the arrow above the female elite in the center. There's the arrow, cast twice, and we made it past the hardest part. 4 empowers to Jasmine. Scotch is about to reveal his cores. Break those. And I'm waiting for the elite to spawn out of this corner. I'm just waiting. But I'm pre-casting, right? I am ready to cast as soon as I see that elite. There's the elite. I cast. I use Jasmine. I use Levy. I also use my healer. I move Drea out of the way. I copy these bleeds. Wait for this 3 cores. I spread those bleeds. And now I'm waiting on Jasmine ult. Or sorry, Drea ult. Drea ult is now available. I cast. 3 empowers. And I cast again. Copy those bleeds because I didn't do it earlier. And I'm waiting. There's the next wave. Spread all of our bleeds. 2 onto Jasmine. 1 onto Drea. Move Jasmine up front. I'm waiting around. Waiting for these cores. There's those cores. We cast. We use the ECB. We wait for Levy. I'm going to go ahead and cast my healer too. There's Levy. Core break happened. Drea, 3 onto Drea, and then Drea again. And you can see that with Afterglow, even though it's a very small bonus, it gave us a lot of buffer. We went from like a clean 240k to 244, which doesn't sound impressive, but those last few, like 3 seconds matters a lot if you've made mistakes somewhere along the line, and it provides you a good cushion in case you don't have as much damage as I do. Okay, but yeah, that's the clear. If you don't have Primordial Maul, this technique does not work. You need Primordial Maul, and you need the minus 30% boss HP unless your centers are just significantly stronger than mine. But that's how we do it with the bleed and healer setup against Scotch. Let me know what you guys think. Share with anybody trying to hit 270k this season, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.